naughty, mischievous, precocious, very bad-tempered, and if everything is not as I want it, my goodness, everything in Nimbus stands for excellence.
A visit to Wirestone Leys near Monmouth, the home of Nimbus Records, is in some ways like taking a trip to another world. For on the banks of the romantic Wye River in picturesque woodlands, great minds combine the highest level of music recording technology with a charmingly fresh approach to the question of fidelity. At Nimbus, recordings are not enhanced by retakes of sections of a performance. Here, the performance as executed is everything. This philosophy bears the stamp of Nimbus's visionary founder, the French-raised aristocrat with Russian forebears, Count Numa Lubinsky. First of all, I'd like to ask you, why did you decide to come here? I mean, it's a beautiful location, but was there any other reason?
Oh yes, in 1962 Gerald took a photograph of it, and we decided that that was the ideal place for us. We never thought we would come here, but we knew intuitively that was where we would want to be. It was beautiful. We are all born from the earth in the country. We don't like pavements, and we like woods, and we like animals, and somehow it was home straight away.
Now, Gerald, you're one of the founder members of the company. What was the initial dream, the initial vision, if you like?
It was a combination of music and engineering, really. I'm basically an engineer by background, but I've always been interested in music. And when I joined Numa and Michael, which was in 1961, 62, Numa was still singing, and I used to spend quite a lot of time listening to him preparing. And we were also in the middle of the property development phase of the company, this kind of 18-year detour from recording, which gave us the financial wherewithal to move here to Wirestone Leys.
So when you first came here, most of the recordings, well, all the recordings were done in here, this beautiful room.
Yes, it wasn't beautiful then, my child.
Wasn't it?
No.
What did it look like?
A wreck. It had rude words on because it had squatters in. They were very nice. We asked them to leave and they left. And I was on my hands and knees with Michael and Gerald, scrubbing the floors and thinking, my God, where's the money coming from? We didn't have very much money.
But you must be very, very pleased with the way things are going now.
I am very pleased with the fates that have been very kind to me. First of all, to have given me the brothers Reynolds, whom I love more than anything else, because they have been loyal and we have been through great adversity. And the banks, those bloody institutions that are narrow-minded, that give money to the wrong people, that are corrupt, and they will have to change because they have ruined many, many good, honorable businesses in their panic. And in the 80s, my own problem is that I collect furniture. And my bank manager was so kind, and that I am such a spendthrift, that is that I'm not miserly. If I see a piece of furniture that I think will suit the house, I buy it. Yeah. So I had to make my confession to Michael and Gerald, because my overdraft was so enormous that the company had to pay it, because I could never pay it back. The interest was £8,000 a month. I leave you to draw your own conclusions. It was awful.
Let's get back to the company itself. Now, it survived despite business setbacks. At one stage, Robert Maxwell had a controlling stake in the company. Now, with the collapse of his empire, how did you survive?
Bloody minded hard work.
But not many companies did.
A flair which has largely come from Count Lubinsky for choosing the right directions. I mean, you know, we have gone out on many limbs. I mean, when we first started to make CDs, people thought we were crazy. And they went on thinking we were crazy for several years. But that leap from making LPs to making CDs changed us from a small niche market supplier of very high quality LPs. We made the best LPs in the world, to being a large company making millions of CDs, tens of millions of CDs a year, operating on 2 continents, here in America. Because we made that decision and we got in early. We got in right at the beginning of CD.
As you can see, I'm suitably dressed for the squeaky clean area.
Hello.
Hello, Roger. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Right, what's happening here?
In this area, we're building the electronics and subunits for the lathe. The other activity is actually integrating the PCBs actually into subracks. We have 2 which go out with every lathe. This area here is dedicated to preparing all the clean line equipment. To get a clean piece of glass takes a lot of preparation.
They're like washers.
Sophisticated washing machines.
Right, that I understand.
This area in here, which we won't go into, is an extra fine clean area. This is where we actually assemble the lathes themselves, onto which we actually build in the electronics. From that stone is the actual CD is produced that you buy. It's produced,
From
which is the plastic items.
Oh, I think here's another fancy dress. Nick, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you.
And you. Now, this yellow light, do you have to work in this all day?
Yes, the reason for the yellow light is the glass which is loaded onto the laser beam recorder has a photosensitive layer applied to it, and it's this photosensitive layer which is actually sensitive to white light, so that's why this yellow light is necessary.
So that in there now isn't actually a CD, but the impression that goes on it, is it?
That's, what's actually being exposed now is a glass master CD. The glass master is then developed, a metallized layer is put onto the glass, a metal father is grown from the glass master, a metal mother is grown, and from the metal mother, a metal child is grown. And it's this metal child which is put onto an injection molding machine, and the polycarbonate CDs are actually made from this, what we call child or stamper.
You make it sound a very sexy process.
Well, it's called the family process, so
Is it?
yes.
CD manufacture is one thing, recording is another. In the new concert hall cum recording theatre, I found the pioneering spirit alive and well there too. Hello, Adrian.
Hello, Elinor.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Now, for a sound control room, this looks particularly inviting because usually it's like sort of mission control, isn't it?
Very simple. Very simple. We try and keep as many flashing lights and control panels out of here as possible. Our biggest challenge is to get the microphone in the right place to start with. And once the microphone's up, we don't change anything. So we have no opportunity to alter anything post-production.
The main reason for Nimbus is to have complete takes, because a patchwork quilt, which is a general philosophy of recording companies, is a lie. We don't lie, so we take full takes, and if they don't give full takes, we don't issue the record.
We believe that recording should still be as it was in the days of 78 and before tape came along in the 50s, that people have to give a performance. Because music is not something that you can chop up into little bits. Music is not a job for accountants. It's not that kind of a thing.
The truth is not always pretty. You have to stand by your mistakes in a performance. So the same thing goes on the record. When there is a great performance, there are obviously bum notes.
It has an enormous advantage. It means that an artist coming and listening to playback can be absolutely sure that what they're hearing on playback is what will go out on the final record.
Now, you're deputy chairman here and director of music. Do you have editorial control as far as choosing the music which is to be performed, and also as far as musicians and performers are concerned?
Choosing artists is something that the company tends to do collectively, in that maybe I'll hear somebody or Count Lewinsky will hear somebody, we'll listen or play a tape to each other and decide. The particular instance here with Mark Anderson was because I decided to go to the Leeds piano competition, and he was the only one out of the 6 finalists of that competition that I was very impressed by. He didn't win. My opinion, of course, he should have won.
From the headquarters of Nimbus at Wyreston Lees, the company looks to the whole world for its input. But it need look no further than the rich supply source to the immediate west for some of its material. Geraint, you come from a very strong Welsh academic background. You were a lecturer at a Welsh university for 7 years before you came here. What's your role in the company?
I'm the Deputy Music Director. Of course, I knew of Nimbus as a major record label before coming here. In fact, I didn't realise that Nimbus was in Monmouth, on the Welsh border. We're now currently in England, but as we walk along, we'll shortly be going into Wales.
In a few strides, really.
In a few strides. And I was here for about a year or two and realised that there were opportunities in the company for finding the best Welsh artists, or providing a platform on an international level for those things within Welsh music which deserve an international hearing. It so happened that the BBC National Orchestra of Wales at the time was developing under Tadaki or Taka towards international recognition. And the final stage, if you like, in that process was giving them records which could be distributed worldwide. So we've had enormous success with that, and hand in hand with that then went the close friendships we developed with Welsh composers like William Mathias and Alun Hodinot. We recorded a lot of Will's music before he died. He was able to come and conduct, supervise the recordings. Alun has done the same. And we've found now responses coming from all over the world, America, Japan. Yesterday a fax arrived from Brussels saying, thank you for your wonderful recordings of Mathias. Now, you know, this is not being done in a kind of sense of saying, well, we are promoting Welsh music evangelically. This happens to be great music, which needs to be heard all over the world. And so I think there is a role there for saying that we are a company now in Wales.
Yes, we've arrived.
Which speaks to the world. And we have things in Wales which need to be heard.
One of the company's recent successes has been its Prima Voce series, which involves reissuing recordings of up to 100 years old. So this is it, the famous Nimbus horn, or Saddam as it's been christened?
That's right, unfortunate nickname.
But this is what's used to record old 78s onto CDs. Now, what's the principle? Simply.
It is very simple. We use a sharpened cactus or a piece of thorn. It plays just one side of a 78 before it needs to be sharpened again. And that fits into here, and the vibrations that are picked up by the thorn are amplified down this continually expanding tube. That's it. No electronics here at all, entirely acoustic process.
Oh, no cleaning up processes?
No, the cactus does the job properly.
Right, you put that on.
I will.
Right?
Okay.
Fine, I'm on my way. Ah, right. I can hear it. Fine. Oh, that's fantastic. It really is clear, as a bell. What's this made of?
This is made of fiberglass.
Let's listen a minute. That really is fantastic. But tell me, why do all sopranos and old 78 sound the same to me?
One of the reasons they sound the same to you is that if you use a modern stylus to replay these records, you tend to get a very homogenized sound. Because the cleaning up process actually reduces the differences. If you do it this way, the way it was meant to be done, they all sound very different.
Fantastic. So anyway, the sound comes out of there and it's recorded onto this. Here.
That's right.
By this then.
That's right, and this is the modern end. This is an ambisonic microphone which hears sound coming to it from all directions. So all the reflections that are coming off the walls of this concert hall are heard and perceived by the microphone in exactly the same way that your ears do when you're in a concert hall. You don't just hear what's coming at you from the performers, you hear all the reflected sounds. So does this microphone.
You've pared the whole process down, haven't you?
Very, very simple, trying to mimic what we all of us do naturally when we're listening to music.
Technology. Right. Alien environment to me, this. Hello. Crack, I believe, is it?
Yes.
Hello, I'm Elinor.
Hi.
How are you?
Very well.
So, what's happening here?
This is compressing video in order to put onto CD.
So, we're talking MPG-1 here?
Well, of course.
Yeah. The principles, I suppose, are discrete cosine transformation and, of course, motion estimation.
Naturally.
Honestly, it took me 2 weeks to learn that one. Honestly, so now you're going to actually put videos on CDs?
Yes, very soon. You'll be able to watch normal videos, the same videos that you can hire at the moment on VHS, played back on a normal CD player with a digital decoder box, which will be able to plug into your telly.
How much will they cost?
At the moment, we think they'll be about £150.
Fantastic. And that machine over there is actually making one as we speak?
Yeah, this computer is actually compressing at the moment. It takes a very long time to do, but it's working away at it.
How far away is this, do you think?
This should be launched beginning of '94.
And we've always been ahead. If you can't win a race, you don't enter it. For that, you have to be ruthless. If you're not good, if you're not better, don't do it.
But maybe
Mediocrity is what is. You go on television. Your British television now is a disgrace. It's become full of rubbish.
we'll try and rectify that one here today.
It is game shows, it's pandering to the lowest common denominator. And that is not good. The populace have brains.
Well, I'd agree with that.
The middle class, as Bernard Shaw, middle class respectability, I quote wrongly from Pygmalion, is what is wrong. It's hypocrisy. The middle class used to be shopkeepers, used to work. Now they don't. They go and play golf. Golf clubs are springing up like mushrooms. Stupid games, stupid balls. You realize that I am not at all. When somebody says, you must exercise, I do, like this, every morning to find out if everything's working before I get up. That's it. Then I do pee-pee, and then I'm quite happy.
And you still exercise the vocal cords, of course.
Oh, yes.
And you still sing.
Yes, indeed. I shall be doing the last concert recital. I shall be doing all Schubert program, like Doppelgänger and Gruppe aus dem Tartarus, on film next year, my 71st birthday. I still have my male alto, which is 2 octaves, which I forgot. So the world, it's been released in America, and 3 competing companies are bringing out their so-called male altos that I call falsetto, because the male alto is entirely different, as you will hear. I will play it to you after this nonsense.
Thank you. Count Lubinsky, who chose to be a singer rather than go into the priesthood, holds strong views about voice training.
Every singer now sings in the nasopharynx, like they sound like the Elgin marbles. Dong, 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 dong. The snippas, it's not that at all. You articulate from the larynx, from the first vocal position, so you get comfortable. Then there's the second position, then you get the head resonance, but not before. Now they put the roof before the foundations.
You hear lots of singers here, don't you? But it must be a very frustrating experience for you, though, to have to listen to all this.
I go away.
You go away?
I go away. Because I hear, look, they have wonderful voices. They have no method.
Do you blame the teachers?
Of course I do. Entirely. All they want is the money, and all they are. They're perhaps 7 books further away. You can't. You cannot sing properly without a master saying, this is the launch. The articulative processes are the 5 vowels in Italian. They are in the larynx, the trachea, pitches. The vocal cords are, it's the door. You don't, the vocal cords are at ease. All this is at ease. But you must have the coup de glotte, the attack, the ping on the wine glass. And it is something like this. Ah, that's all.
The new concert hall that's just been opened here. Everything can be planned meticulously on paper, but sometimes things go very wrong in the building and in the process. Are you pleased with it?
We always wanted it. Couldn't have done it without the love of Michael and Gerald.
On
We
paper-
paid for it.
Yes, this is the Nimbus Foundation now.
Yes, but it was our money. We earned it.
Has it lived up to your expectation?
Oh, yes. I don't like the roof, because that looks like a gym hall, but we couldn't afford a better. But, I mean, you know, £1.5 for 3 men is a lot.
Now, the concert hall is now in place. It's a recording hall as well. Do you envisage broadening the base here to include all the arts?
We would like to. We would very much like to broaden it to include drama, certainly, and also it is our wish to include the visual arts as well. That means more money because we need more space to do that. So that will have to wait a little bit, but certainly we will be including drama as well as music in that hall.
The only reason that the arts exist, and I believe this from my heart, from my spirit, from my soul, without the high arts, the world is in barbarism. We are nearly there, especially with bad politicians. We have very bad politicians in France, and I can't say anything else about anyone else, any other country.
They follow suit.
But it's exactly like the 30s, and there will be very, very much more unemployment.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
It's very sad, and it's our job to try and help. If I was God for 7 minutes, I would ban pavements and make green grass for everyone to walk on.
It would change the world.
It would help.
People would think
You know,
differently.
Mao Zedong thought grass was bourgeois and had it all torn up.
Yes, but he was wrong, wasn't he?
He was mad,
Totally wrong.
absolutely mad.